Today we're going to be talking about the most anticipated upcoming shooters for October 2021. Now, 3 of these games you've probably heard of. One of them you probably haven't. The developers describe it as a fast-paced indie retro FPS roguelite. So stay tuned for that. We're going to save that one for last, and we're also going to be able to go in the order that the games release, which is super convenient. If this is your first time here, I'm Blue Monkey, and welcome to Captured Frag, the channel dedicated to giving you only the most interesting and shooter gaming news. So if you're bored with the current shooter meta, join me on my journey to 1,000 subscribers, where I'll be uploading weekly and talking about all the games that are making real moves in the shooter genre. First game we'll be looking at is Far Cry 6. Far Cry 6 is a single-player or co-op shooter set on the fictional Caribbean island of Yara, where communist overlord Anton Castillo is basically making everyone's life a living hell. You play as Danny Rojas, and as a revolutionary leader, it's going to be your job to take back what's rightfully yours for you and your people. The Far Cry games have never taken themselves too seriously, and I think that theme carries over here. Don't get me wrong, it looks really clean and polished, but when you have a pet alligator assisting you in battle and a mortar launcher in your backpack, you'll realize that the darker story elements are balanced nicely by some good, lighthearted combat. Now, there's plenty of weapons in the game to choose from your regular old M16s, to flamethrowers, to machine guns made out of motorcycle parts, to a disc launcher that plays the Macarena. Each of these weapons will be able to be fitted with a number of different mods for some extra customization, and clothing and armor also bring unique perks to enhance your playstyle. In this game, you do have a super ability, which takes the form of backpack modifications. As I mentioned, you can have a series of mortars launch out of your backpack at your enemies, or you can have a jetpack, and presumably many more, though I'm not sure how many more. The RPG light mechanics may turn some veteran players off. It's a welcome feature for me, and the Far Cry games have always been delivered at a consistent level of polish. If you're looking for a new story-based shooter game, this one might be for you. Far Cry 6 is coming to Xbox, PlayStation, Stadia, and PC on October 7th. Next, let's look at Back 4 Blood, which basically is Left 4 Dead 3, it's just not called that. It's being developed by Turtle Rock Studios, the people who brought you Left 4 Dead 1 and then the massive flop Evolve, and they say they're looking to get back to their more successful roots, and as you can see by the gameplay, it looks like they're succeeding. I mean, the gameplay is basically identical to Left 4 Dead. This time around, though, you won't just be trying to survive a zombie apocalypse, you'll actually be taking the role of a cleaner. A survivor, yes, but one who's proved so capable that your job is now to actively go out and hunt the zombies for yourselves, and go out and claim new outposts to ensure the survival of humanity. There is a card system involved in this game, which people are seeming to not like, which I don't understand. It can be disabled if you choose. Basically, it allows you to add a variety of different modifiers to your runs, like increasing health and damage, so you'll be able to add a little bit of variety and replayability to the game. The director system is also returning, which is an AI that adjusts the gameplay depending on the player's performance. It can adjust the difficulty, it can spawn more enemies, it can even bring in a fog storm. Now, the devs have been kind of shady as far as the business model goes. All they've given us is a vague statement saying, quote, paid post-launch content is possible, and this could mean DLC, or it could mean vigorous microtransactions. I'm assuming it'll probably be a cosmetic item shop or something like that, but if this game does do well, I bet you they make an expansion down the road. Back 4 Blood is coming to Xbox, PlayStation, and PC on October 12th. Next up is the Crysis Remastered Trilogy. I feel like, what? Didn't this already launch? The first game did, yes, but now the whole trilogy will be remastered for you to purchase either as a bundle or as separate games. When these games first launched, they were super demanding to run, hence the well-known phrase, but can it run Crysis? Although these games do look much better, there must have been a lot of optimization done because you only need a Ryzen 5 or an Intel Core i5 7600 processor and a GTX 1050 Ti to run it, which isn't bad. So you play as Prophet, a soldier enhanced with a nanosuit that protects against, well, basically everything, and also gives you superhuman strength and abilities. You fight the North Korean military on the Linchin Islands, another fictional landmass, this time in the Philippines, to gain control of an artifact that could change the future of humanity. The only gripe people are having with this game, especially longtime fans, is that there will be no multiplayer. The remaster consists of the campaign only. Now, I never played the multiplayer, so it's no biggie for me. Plus, with so many multiplayer-focused shooters out these days, I think it's good to have a campaign-focused shooter out once in a while. Now that I think about it, though, all the games on this list are campaign-focused. Oops. I think this actually already came out on Switch. But Crysis Remastered Trilogy releases for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox on October 15th. And lastly, we have Into the Pit, a fast-paced indie retro FPS roguelite. Yes, that's a lot to pack into one game, but if you're a shooter fan that's into roguelites or retro games, you're probably nutting right now. First thing I think when I see this is Doom with hands. It's being developed by No Pointer Games, and this is going to be their debut title. Now, not much has been revealed about the game so far, so I'm just going to go ahead and read straight from the Steam description. It says, fight with chaos and magic. Experiment with various spells and powers to become an unstoppable magical force. Shift through treacherous dungeons. High-octane energy and short-paced levels will keep you on your toes. you'll never know what horror lies beyond the next corner. Now, I don't know what short-paced levels means, but there's kind of a hint in this next part. It says grow your powers, rescue villagers to open shops for permanent upgrades to prolong your runs and maximize your potential. So at the beginning of the game, you probably have a short timer for each of the runs that you do, and presumably you can make your runs longer and longer by opening these shops. It says choose your challenge, mix keys and runes gathered on your journeys to generate and combine different dungeon encounters. So pretty vague, but the gameplay looks damn cool. Into the Pit releases for PC and Xbox One on October 19th. And if you're still hungry for more videos, I do have a couple to the right for you. Again, on Capture the Frag, we're talking about only the most interesting and shooter game news. Be sure to subscribe down below. I am uploading weekly. So once again, I am Blue Monkey. Thanks for stopping by. I'll talk to you in the next video. Peace.